check behind me, you will see someone. Okay, so welcome to my Ghanaian Dream Challenge, where I invested over $16,000 into this particular project, 1,000 best, 1,000 layer capacity project, with the hope of living a better life in Ghana. So, in my update today, guys, I am introducing my poultry project into a formal business. What do I mean by this? So yesterday I took a very important step towards ensuring that I will be able to hire my very first staff, very first farmhand to join me to manage this particular 1,000 birds. Are they even 1,000 now? Certainly no. They have come down to 997 birds. But I shortlisted four people, one of them being a female, three of them being males. Unfortunately, the other three could not be selected, but none of the other three could be selected. But then it is the female who was selected. So, what criteria did I use, and how come I settled on this particular person as the one to help me? In actual fact, she is in today to start her probation, 2 days probation, for me to see her mannerism, her posturing, and everything, whether it can suit this particular portrait or not. So I invited four people for interview. I sought to find out whether they have any experiences in taking care of poultry or not. I also sought to find out if sorry, their aspirations in life and so many other things, their age and what they do currently and what have you. Also where they live and then everything concerning that. So at the end of the day, I shortlisted, or is it that I selected one of them who is, let's call her Mabiba, who happens to be a neighbor, the sister to my neighbor to the east. In fact, let me say one of my very few neighbors, or one of my neighbors who is very interested in the success of the project. Sometimes I will even be asleep. So while he sits outside in his house, observing if there are any unusual stuff in the chicken house, then he will alert me. So that is how far I appreciate how he has been helping. In fact, also he is the one whose cousin was getting wedded, and then they were playing the jams, and then he said that, oh, I should have informed him that, oh, it is going to have effect on the birds, and he will move them. He will move the jams, and lo and behold, he did move them. So that is the extent to which he has been very concerned in ensuring that the birds really thrive for all of us, as he always says, and that is to the fact. So he she happens to be a widow of over 50 years. She also has a few grandchildren, and she has about 8 children currently. And she was married somewhere around Zabzugu, and then due to the unfortunate passing of her husband, she decided to come and live with the brother in Sanarugu here. So that is the first, and that is the person for you. And then she said that in the past she normally will buy this poultry that they carry in cages. We can normally call them check. So she buys them, rear them, then during Christmas, then she will sell in Zabzugu. So apart from that, she also takes care of some household poultry, and there is the local fowls among others, and she also farms. She farms a lot. She says that while she was there, she farms sometimes more than 2 acres on her own and as her own. So she also she said that I was interested in finding out as to whether she'll be leaving soon or she'll be around for a while. She said, oh, she has come to live with her brother because due to the nature, they were so close. He and she and the late husband, the way they were close, she found it very difficult to proceed with her life after the passing of her husband. For which reason, suggestions came that she should come down as far as Tamale to live with the brother, probably to help her to heal and move on after the passing of the late husband. For which reason she agreed and came around, and she says that she is kind of healing gradually since she came around. And as to whether she will remarry, she said she is not thinking so. because the way, as I just explained, she was so close with the husband, for which reason she doesn't see the need to go to struggle again to make a meaning of life. She thinks that she has already made a lot of meaning of her life, with her late husband having up to 10 children and two passing, for which reason there is no need for her to go into that struggle of a married life again. So I was satisfied with her responses, because I feel that if she happens to be engaged fully and she's doing very well, I'll be sad that she will be leaving probably for another place because of reasons that are known to her. So, based on getting my satisfaction that she may be around for a while, in addition to the fact that she has taken care of poultry before, in addition to the fact that she has a lot of concern, sorry, she has a lot of concern for livestock and poultry, among others. And the fact also is that she has a demeanor which shows that she's ready to work. And in addition, just latently, she wants to find something engaging so that she would be able to, let's say, remember the late husband once in a while, but not as always as she always does when she was there. And even as she has come here, though it's reducing, but getting somebody something to do will help her to heal faster. So, looking at all of this, one other important factor, although I didn't consider it, is that unlike the others who are engaged, she doesn't look like somebody who has put money in front of her to start her engagements with me. But then the rest, it is, I don't know that because they are guys, it is money they put forward before in additional engagements or discussions with them. So all of this has favored her for her to start doing the probation with me. Today she's supposed to come and observe whatever I'll be doing. And tomorrow I'll let her do some of the things for me to see. Afterwards, um, I would then engage her fully. I'm thinking within a range, a salary range of the minimum wage and something on top. And then if you have any advices also, you can give me. If she happens to pass the probation, her attitude to the best among others, if it happens to be very fine, then I will give her a contract for us to work together. And she seemed very determined, she seemed very focused, and she seemed willing to help me to succeed in this. And this is the subject I say is one of the steps towards making this my poultry project a business. It is because when I engage in this particular poultry project, my intention certainly wasn't to engage in a 247 like I have been doing since the start up to now. That is now about 20 weeks. That has never been my intention to be engaged in a 247, 247, 247 for this long. My intention was to start it along the line, get very good people to help me build it so that together we can share the little profit and the little success that will come. So that if it is possible to expand, then we expand into larger farms, then we can get more good people to help us to create wealth for all of us to spend and for it to help the communities. So when I started without money and I had to look for money to get the feed that can feed the best up to about six moms, I thought that no, if I was going to add um, employees at that stage, that money wasn't yet coming in, and also they were so fragile, they were so delicate in handling and vulnerable to diseases. I thought that no, why don't I just sacrifice to do all the work so that I would buy time whilst also saving the money I would have spent in paying people to come and help. And if they happen not to be as determined and focused as I am, some of them or one person or the person I will engage will end up hurting my best or even causing a lot of biosecurity concerns, which may lead my best to dying. So I just left it and handled it solely as me myself. Although along the way, stress, tiredness, fatigue set in, led me to make petty errors, missing 1 or 2 days in the vaccines among others. But then eventually, I thought that even though the birds have started laying, they are not laying up to the stage that they can feed themselves. I still think that it is very important to engage somebody now so that I avoid mistakes that can lead my birds to dying in huge numbers. So that is where we are. And the hope is that when we succeed in when I succeed in getting this person to um if I succeed and this person happens to be a very good worker, it will mean that a lot of my time will be saved to look at quality of feed and everything that is supposed to be used to serve to the best. So, and when that happens, it will give us more room for probably lesser uh, breakages of eggs, cleaner eggs, and then also supplying to people who are nearby. She can work and serve them among others. And most importantly, more money will come, more money will come. I will be able to pay her, and then we can save something to pay our debts. We can recoup our investment, and most importantly, we may be able to reinvest somewhere with a bigger farm, and then we will grow. But then, if this happens to fail catastrophically, through maybe theft, through carelessness and leading to poor biosecurity and the birds dying, that will mean that my gamble for somebody to help me has failed, and then my business in the poultry project has also failed. And I pray that it doesn't happen. For now, even if she happens to be very good and helping and doing everything, I will still have to be around. I will be around to ensure that I monitor very well, especially that it is in my compound. I'll monitor and monitor to ensure that she is able to do even 90, 70 to 80 to 90% of what I do, if not even more. And then if that's I get so comfortable that she's able to do all of that, then I may be able to give her more room to operate whilst I do supervision, and then checking and balancing of whatever that will be happening here, just like I do for my school. I have been talking. If you have any suggestions to give me to make this right, please don't hesitate at all to share with me. Thank you so much for watching. If you still haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Bye bye for now.